Okay. Next topic it is shopping complexes and malls. So far we have seen two kinds of marketplaces: weekly markets and markets in our neighborhood, where we are getting things in cheaper price. And now we are going to the next stage. There are other markets in our urban areas that have many shops, popularly called shopping complexes. These days, in many urban areas, you also have large multi-storied air-conditioned building with the shops on different floors known as malls. Even if you are going to Karur, we can see what it is departmental stores, Sri Krishna departmental store, Kannan departmental store, like that many stores you can see with multi-storied building, and they are giving all the services in the same building. Groceries are there, or the vegetables, fruits, then bakery items, then cloth, utensils, even the toys for kids, everything it is available in the same complex and in the different stores. Different first floor or second floor, ground floor, like that it is available. And some of the shops it is giving parking places for our vehicle, four-wheeler or two-wheeler also. Then in these urban markets you get both branded and non-branded goods. As you have read in the chapter of advertising, branded goods are expensive when we are often promoted by the advertising and claims for the better quality. The branded things we are getting in a higher price. For example, minimum 3,000, like that they will take. And why they are taking that much? Because for promotion purpose, to give the advertisement purpose, they want to spend a lot, and they are getting the influence. Because of that one, they want to get money from the consumer, and for that purpose they will give their things in a particular manner. They packed in a good way and a presentable way, and they claim like that is the quality and other things, and they will take a in a very high price. And when we have seen that media lesson, in that lesson also we have seen the influence of advertisement and other things. Then the companies producing these products sell them through shops in a large urban markets, and at times through the special showrooms. As compared to the non-branded goods, fewer people can afford to buy branded ones. If there are in the every area, if the even not only for clothes, we can see things, the vessels, or the even fruits, we can see like that branded things. And if you are purchasing the branded thing, what we want to give a higher price, and if you are purchasing non-branded thing, we will get it a little bit cheaper. And both things will be available in the same shopping mall or same shopping complex. And the very few people, if 100 persons are coming to the shop, very few, 5 to 6 or 10% are available. People are available to afford, means they can purchase with that branded item with a high price, and other 90 people they will purchase, normally they will purchase non-branded item, or once in a while, means again 10 or 15% they will try to purchase the branded item. Okay, now we are moving to the next topic, chain of markets, that you want to understand very keenly. Before we had one more lesson in civics, and now that lesson it is not there for 7th standard, that removed. So this topic what we are going to discuss, and the deleted lesson having a connection. So that also little bit I will explain here and there whenever it is needed. If it was there, it will be more clear to you people what is mean by chain of market. In the previous section, you have read about different markets, from where we buy goods, from where do you think shop owners procure their goods. Goods are produced in the factories or on farms in the and in homes. However, we won't buy directly from the factory or from the farm, nor would you be interested in selling a small quantities such as the 1 kilo of vegetable or one plastic mug, like that. Okay, when we are purchasing things from the shops, from where the shopkeepers are getting things, It may be from directly from factories, for example sugar, or from cloth or utensils they are purchasing from the factories. They are also not purchasing from the factories, they are purchasing from the wholesaler. Wholesalers from where? They are giving the dealer to where? Now they are having the some zonal agency to give the things from factories, and that zonal agency they are purchasing from the market. This is the chain of market. We are not going and directly purchasing what people they are producing. For example, here in Tamil Nadu we are producing sugar cane, and whenever we need sugar, are we going to the farm to the sugar cane farmer and asking like that we need 10 kg of sugar? No, instead of that we are going to the market. And sugar cane farmer also, what he is doing, he is cutting his sugar cane and he is sending that one to the factory, and the factory people they are making the sugar or jaggery in different form they will make, and they will take that one into the market. Okay, the people in between the producer and the final consumers are the traders. Means we can see many types of traders. So from for example milk or sugar, if you are consuming that things, behind that many traders are there. So the people, those who are standing between producer and consumer is known as trader. Please underline. The wholesaler trader first buys goods in a large quantities. He may purchase, for example sugar, he will purchase one truck full, that may be 100 bags or 200 bags or 500 bags of sugar. And the small shopkeepers, what they will do, they will purchase 2 bags or 3 bags, how much they need, and that again they will open and sell in a small quantity. When we are going 2 kg, 10 kg, 50 kg, how much we want, according to that he will give to us. So the ordinary shopkeeper or neighborhood shopkeeper or the market weekly market people, what they will do, they will go to the wholesale shop and they will purchase from there in a how much they want. For example, the vegetable wholesaler trader will not buy a few kilos of vegetable, but will buy in a large lots of 25 to 100 kilos. These will then be sold to other traders in this market. Buying and selling take place between traders. It is through this link of traders that goods reach faraway places. The trader who finally sells this to the consumer is the retailer. The person who is giving things to us in our neighborhood area, in our weekly market, we will call him retailer. Means he is giving in a small quantity. If you are asking 50 gram also, they are ready to give. If you are asking 10 kg also, they will give. But we are going to the wholesale shop, they will say like that a minimum you want to purchase 100 kg, like that they will say to us. So the wholesaler, they are giving in a big quantity that we can't afford that much. What we will do, if we are purchasing 100 kg, one full bag of sugar, how many days we will use it? So we can't purchase like that. So what we are doing, we are depending on the retailer and we are purchasing 10 kg or 25 kg according to the number of the family members, according to the use. For if we are purchasing for 1 month, we may purchase like that 5 kg, 10 kg. If there is 5 members in the family and all of us are drinking sugar, tea with sugar, and we are making some items with sugar, then we may purchase 10 kg per month for our use. Okay. And the retailer, he will give at a means like that 2-3 bags. If you are asking what he will do, he will say like that, for marriage is coming, so for function purpose we want more rice, 5 bags of rice. Then what he will say, when you want, just inform me, I will get it and I will give to you directly, like that he will say to us normally. Then this could be a trader in a weekly market, a hawker in the neighborhood, or a shop in the shopping complex. So the retailer shop where we are seeing in our neighborhood or in the weekly market or even the shopping complex or in malls, we can see. We can understand this with the help of the following example. Every city has an area for a wholesale market. In every area, every city there will be area for what? Wholesale market. In every city, there will be an area for a wholesale market. This is where goods first reach and are then supplied to other traders. The things will come to the wholesale market. From the wholesale market, the other traders they will purchase. The roadside hawker who you read about the earlier would have purchased a large quantity of plastic items from the wholesaler trader in the town, and he in turn might have brought from another even bigger wholesaler trader in the city. And we can see that when those who are coming as a hawker in the our areas or streets, they are coming with the plastic items, mug, then the dustpan, like that things they are bringing, and they are collecting from that things from the wholesaler, and it may be in a credit base also. And when they are after the one week they want to go and give money, and they will get another credit, like that. In many way they are turning their money. Then he in turn might have brought these from the another even bigger wholesaler trader in the city. The city wholesaler trader would have brought a large quantity of plastic items from the factory, stored then in the godown. So we are in need of godowns also. If the shops are more and the people are ready to purchase, then what we want, we are in need of godown. So the wholesaler dealer normally they are having that is a big wholesaler dealer, they are having the godown. In this way, a chain of market is set up. When we purchase, we may not be aware of the chain of market through which these goods travel before they reach to us. So we can see the things. It is passing, starting from where its movement is starting from the farmer who is producing the things. For example, cotton or sugar cane, or if you are purchasing some utensils of aluminium or steel, that it is starting from the mine area where people are working and taking the collecting the ores for these things. So from them it is slowly the people, for example, we will take the example of sugar cane again. The farmers they are working in the farm, and the workers also will be there. They are working together to cultivate sugar cane, and the sugar cane they will cut and clean and send to the factory. Then factory people they will make different products from that. It is from the VIP quality or the export quality to the local quality things, and they will take the export quality to other countries or into the those who are able to pay a high rate, and it will be available in our market, but price will be 5 times or 10 times extra we want to pay to get like that things. Then again in the factory they are making different product with the sugar cane. It may be the common product we are saying like the sugar, and as well as jaggery we will gur or jaggery you are saying. Other than many other products, sucrose, like that many things are there. From that things they will sell to the other factories who is making them Coca-Cola, Pepsi, like that things, to them we are selling.